Georges?
Yeah, Nico.
So why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Georges. Somehow I had to get the inspector away from the office door. Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Navet seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Navet, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he sure didn't deserve this. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collard, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel, then. My favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Oh, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Maledictio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. Drawing attention to myself would be a bad idea. Georges,
Yeah, Nico.
you said you needed to get into the office?
And you said you were going to create a distraction.
I still had nothing new to tell Ronnie. I was going to have to do some investigating of my own. Poor guy. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. It was the alarm for the painting that had been stolen. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave. Not without getting into more trouble anyway. Nice price tag. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. A CCTV camera watched over the room. The bust was striking. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen that stain on the floor by the door? What do you think it is?
I don't have time to waste discussing domestic hygiene. Please, leave me to my work.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. I didn't need a business card. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. The completion note from Vera Security. There was an address. I needed to find a 4-digit number. The poster advertised a 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. And there I was, thinking that Henri might have set such an obvious code. No such luck. I needed to find... Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri hadn't set the model van's engine size as the passcode. I needed to find a 4-digit number. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri sure liked his clutter. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. Henri sure had his quirks. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Bingo! I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me, fiddling with the alarm. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I'd got some leads on the killer's identity. A closer look at the painting might be useful. That was the most recent image. This frame caught the moment the killer took the painting. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. That shot. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. That was the earliest shot with anything interesting on it. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. The frame containing pressed flowers. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. The street was quiet.
Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised. We're leaders in our field in commercial insurance, and our brand recognition is...
Do me a favor. Don't call back.
The lady hung up. I was going to have to visit in person. It would have been stupid to phone Nico from in there. Besides, I really didn't want to attract any attention. The completion note from Vera Security. There was an address. Mr. Rickenbacker, I've got some new information. I found a piece of paper that shows Henri went against my recommendations for security.
And?
I guess I'm just wondering why.
Well, you're on the case, Stobart. Just find out where that painting's gone.
I had no reason to search the desk again. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The pipe was pretty cool. A pair of evil eyes stared from... A pair of... It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room. It was a battered sofa. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. I opened the compartment again. Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled, It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. The street was quiet. They didn't go together.
Hello, Vera Security?
It's George again, from Paris Mutual.
Didn't I tell you not to call back? Goodbye.
I had what I needed from the CCTV.